Hello everyone, oro anyu, como esta, habari zenu, guten tag, and all the other greetings. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for being here. If you're a new subscriber, hi, my name is African Hippie, a Kenyan American, and I love to do commentary on social political issues, cultural issues, motherhood, everything in between. So welcome to my channel. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for me. I kind of started a new, not a trend, but a new style of doing videos. It's the same thing I used to do on TikTok, but I'm doing it on YouTube. So it's a little bit different. I do have to time these things out, obviously. But the whole point is to be more, not that I'm not myself and I'm not genuine, but I am better when I am blind reacting to things versus processing them, because immediately I watch something, I have thoughts. If I sit on them, it just seems, I don't know, it kind of bugs me and it does not come out as authentically African Hippie as I want it to, if that makes any sense. So this one is a very interesting one. It says, Black American with US aid says Black Africans rejected her because she wasn't white. Right, that's the problem, is the, yeah, right. It has nothing to do with your attitude. I haven't even watched it yet, but I can already guess what is gonna happen here.
Working with, I was placed there. First of all, they had never met a Black American before, and they loved having white Americans in their village. Now, I don't.
I'm gonna stop right there first. Let us pause. Okay, now, the first thing she said was, I didn't want to be there, I was put there. Off the bat, that explains the problem. People can sense when you don't want to be around them, right? It's almost an innate thing. It's a vibe you put out. It's an energy you put out. The fact that you are kind of forced to be there set you up for failure off the bat. Let's start there. Secondly, you're saying they love the white USAID workers. What has that got to do with their skin color or skin tone? I'm gonna give you guys I've said this a million times, but your worldview determines how you see the world, right? If you choose to see the world through race glasses, that's all you're going to see. Every experience you have in your life, you're going to attribute it to your skin tone. Oh, they were black, so they thought like this. Oh, they were white, so they didn't like me. What has one got to do with the other? Do you know why? I'm going to speak as a Kenyan, okay? The reason a lot of Kenyans get along with Mzungus or the foreigners or the white people is because most of them, for the most part, there are a few arrogant ones here and there. You'll always find those characters across the board. Most of them are there because they want to be there. They want to learn the culture. They're very interested in embracing the new environment and surrounding, and we can tell. So when they're like, oh my God, what are you eating? I want some of that. What is that called? How do you make that, right? They leave their arrogance and bias behind when they come to Kenya. By the time they leave, they've learned some of the language. They have made friends. And most especially, they're not arrogant. They don't have a negative attitude. They don't feel better than anyone. Because trust and believe, we can sense that. We can sense that. By we, I mean Africans. We can definitely sense that, and we will treat you accordingly. Comment section of this video, and I'll put a few screenshots on the screen so you can see them, but a lot of them were from Africans. And this man, the person who posted this, I like his content. His name is Right Winged Angel. I forget his real name. I'll tag him somewhere in the description, but that's where I get most of my news from, because he just reports things that he sees. You can always go and clarify and verify and all that, but there are obviously Africans following him, and they're in the comments going, yeah, it has nothing to do with your skin tone. It has very little to do with your skin tone. It has to do with your attitude. Because how are you going to say, oh, I'm an African American and Africans don't like me? Imagine that. Why don't they like you? What did you do? Did you bring bad vibes? Because if you bring bad vibes, we'll treat you accordingly. If you come entitled and arrogant, we'll treat you accordingly. Let's continue.
Replace them, and they are looking at me like, who, you that look like us? You're here to help us, to save us? What happened to the white people? And you bald, you ain't got no hair.
All these accusations she's making my mind is going to what made her think that. Did she assume that, or did someone actually tell her, where is your hair? Because ma'am, a lot of African women choose to keep their hair very short. They shave it off because it's a preference, or it might be cultural, maybe the style of the place they live. So I refuse to believe that's the reason she was getting that kind of a response. Did they come up to you and ask you, where are the white people, or did you put that on them? Don't project, ma'am. Don't bring your own racist ideologies and put them onto Africans. This is a big reason why I always have a bone to pick with black activists and FBAs. Everyone who basically holds pride in their skin tone, and they have to put the word black before anything for it to be validated. This is the kind of thinking. This is exactly the kind of thinking that leads them there. Let's continue.
And you childless, so you really not a woman. In their culture and at that time, you're not a full woman if you don't have children. Then, to add insult.
Okay, so she might be right on this one. It's the only one I'm going to give her for now. In our culture, well, and by our I mean Africans, obviously there are 54 countries. We are very diverse. We have different cultures, but there are some things we have in common. Families are very much adored, glorified, honored, and encouraged in African countries. Even in Kenya, being a woman is being a homemaker. Being a woman is being a mom. So you will not find a lot of families, a lot of people who opt not to have kids. Having a child out of wedlock, definitely frowned upon. So women avoid having children unless they're married. However, it does happen, obviously. And the village will help you care for your child because community is a very strong sense. So might they have been looking down on her because she doesn't have kids? I don't know if that's really the reason, or she's just, again, assuming. Why don't you walk up to them and ask them, hey, why don't you like me? I'm sure they'll tell you. I've heard Africans have a knack for being pretty blunt. So again, I can't say that's the reason why. I'm just trying to point that out because she mentioned it. Let's continue.
Then, to add insult to injury, I was placed in a house that several people used to live in. I didn't know that. So I'm walking around the compound because I was placed on a school compound in teacher housing. Don't nobody want to fuck with me, basically. Like, African hospitality was just out the window. I recall...
I refuse to believe that Africans refuse to show her any community or any warmth. So I have only been to Tanzania. Is that it? You guys, the irony is that I have not traveled Africa, the continent itself, very, very well. But I have been to Tanzania. And Tanzanians think Kenyans are a bit on the aggressive side. I don't think we are aggressive. I think we're just assertive. They're just very docile, in my opinion. They're very polite people. It doesn't mean we're not polite. We're just louder, I guess, in a way. But in every country, I have heard most foreigners reporting, they said that they were super warm. So I refuse to believe they were just cold to her just because. Kenya is the place people will come to and say, hey, welcome to the neighborhood. Would you like to come do this and this and that? Again, we have a very strong sense of community. So I feel that if people were avoiding her, it's because she was not acting like she wanted to be part of their community. Those are just my thoughts.
And for me, African hospitality is like top tier in the world. There are people who ain't want to fuck with me. Ain't nobody check on me. Ain't nobody offer me no food. Ain't nobody welcome me. I walk around. People would just grimace at me because I had displaced people without knowing. So I ask again.
So she just told us why. She was housed in a place that held previous tenants. So maybe they took offense to that. But that's not really her fault. Either way, I would have tried to make friends with the people I lived with. That's my thoughts. But anyways, some comments are super funny. Someone names, because we aren't the same, it's why I don't do the entire African American thing. I'm American, period. We're entirely different cultures. No lie. Someone said, I'm sure the pink hair, septum ring, and trash attitude helped. Which, honestly, I think I even commented to this. I was like, that has very little to do with our reactions to you. It has more to do with your behavior. Now, I will say, as a tattooed person, which I'll make a different video, yes, I do get stared at when I'm in Kenya, but then also the culture, the tattoo culture is growing in Kenya. Traditionally, African cultures are known for embracing body modification, so that's not really the reason. Like I said, it has a lot more to do with her attitude. This is not a new thing. Black Americans I have had stories of them not getting along when they move to Africa and living in the community, because people can just tell you feel better than us, you're entitled. And that now forms the disparity and the division. It's not your skin tone, honey. I promise you that. And you guys, I hope you like this. If you see any videos you want me to react to, just email them to me, I guess. Go to my Linktree, click on the email icon, send them to me, and I will blind respond to them, because I think it's just more fun that way. I am not on TikTok as much anymore, so I don't scroll and come across some weird things. I am finding a few on Instagram, so I'm gonna try my best to do that. If you like this video, please leave me a like, a comment, a share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Kenyan Hippie out.